What is good, y'all? Welcome to Let's Cap. I'm your host, Ronald Cabang, also known as Youcapper Sports. We got one game in the W, and we also have I also have time to dive into two or three MLB games. And I'll let you guys choose which games you guys want to see, and we'll dive into it using the moneyballer.com website. So let's get into it. We have, like I said, one WNBA game today. I'll share my screen. All right, there you go. All right, so going to the WNBA page here. Oops, I didn't log in yet. What up, Dabs? Free mind. How are you guys doing? Thanks for hopping in here. All right, so we have the Sun and the Fever. Sun at -11 here. I actually saw some 10.5. I think it's come down to 10.5 and the total at 159. We got in-season revenge here for the Fever. Baller system here shows to support the Fever, back double-digit dog off a win. Looking at the schedule, the Sun coming off that loss to the Liberty here. And then we had the Fever coming off of a win against the Mystics. These two have played, I think, twice already, if I'm not mistaken. Back to back, or first 4 games of the season they played twice. Connecticut dominated both of those matchups. From a split perspective, not really great here for the Fever in the first half. 5-1 in the first half on the road, off of a win. A letdown spot here. 0-2. Over under. Fever giving it up. They've been one of the worst defensive teams in the league here. But then on the opposite side, the Sun are one of the best defensive teams. So let's get to the stats here. On the season, dead last in defensive rating here. Sun, 4th in offensive rating, 1st in defensive rating. Pace of play, dead last for the Sun, 8th for the Fever. One thing to mention about the Fever, they've had one of the worst schedules to start the season. But they did have their, one of their first breaks prior to the Mystics game. So that could have been a reason why they were fresh and able to get their offense going. If we go to the 4 factors, most of that advantage here on the Sun side. Not really, their effective field goal percentage, 9th in the league. Not great, and we'll talk about that too. I'm gonna dive deeper into the last 5 games specifically, and we'll show a difference in their offense. If you look at the scoring from different aspects, so obviously points per game, giving up the most, correlates with their defensive rating. You look at the Sun here, goes 8th in points per game, but that kind of correlates with their pace of play. Not able to defend a lot of these pieces here, the Fever. Points off turnovers, second chance points. You don't see the Sun on the break too often. If you look at inside the arc, not defending the mid range, that's a really great spot for the Sun there. And 2nd in mid range attempts, so that could be another part for the Sun to score effectively. 3-point shooting, definitely one of the better defensive teams there from the 3-point shot. If we add, so I'm gonna change this to last 5 games. And one thing that's going to show up is right here. Their offense has taken a dip recently. Whether obviously the Fever's defense still struggles, but this is concerning for a team to be favored by double digits. Effective field goal percentage, 11th. The Fever doing a better job of taking care of the ball, getting to the free throw line a little bit better, limiting offensive rebounds. So overall, A couple things here is pace of play. They're, the Sun, struggling offensively here. Those things point towards an under. I think it moved significantly already. So open at 161.5, down to 159. And then I also actually lean towards the Fever here. And the Fever at plus. So I think this says 12, but I'm pretty sure I saw 8.5 yesterday. During the evening, I saw 8.5, jumped all the way to 12, coming down to 10.5. This is getting to the point where if I understand why people would have been on Connecticut at 8.5. I understand why people would have been on the Fever at 12. So this is to the point where it's kind of getting questionable either way. If I was to bet it at the current numbers, though, at 10.5, I would actually look towards the Fever here. I think that break was good for them. I think they have some offensive momentum. I think Connecticut probably continues to struggle offensively a little bit here. And that combined would say 10.5 is a little bit too much. All right, so let's move on to, all right, so that's the W. Let's move to the MLB. One game that I see here, Yankees and Royals. All right, so let's move to MLB. MLB, Yankees and Royals. Yankees and Royals. All right. So it looks pretty. This is fine. So Royals at home, their dogs plus 108 here is what we have. We have Lugo and Rodon. Our rating system has the matchup with the Yankees +1 on the matchup rating, and so it seems like a slight advantage or slight value on the Yankee side here. So diving deeper into it, so they've been at home. This is Yankees' first game on the road. Just faced a tough, series here against the Dodgers. Last 5 starts for Lugo. 6 innings, gave up 5 earned runs here, 2 home runs to Cleveland. Potential positive regression here because he's been pretty consistent before that start. And then we have Rodon. He's been pretty consistent. I mean, he's always hitting that 6-inning mark. Did well with 9 Ks in his last starts. Consistently giving up a home run, though. 4 of his last 5 starts gave up a home run. Look at the splits here. On the season, this pops out. This pops out. As a road favorite, Rodon 4-0-1 in the first 5 innings, 5-0 in the full game. Yankees in the first 5 versus right-handed pitchers. That's a dominant spot right there, especially as a favorite. As a favorite in general, this is grayed out, but as a favorite in general, if you include home favorite and road favorite, as 27, 4, and 5 in the first 5 money line. That might be a look right there, first 5 on the Yankee side. I mean, from a trend perspective. I don't really mess with these. If you're a Nerfy person, 11-2 to the Nerfy when Lugo starts. All right, let's look at the stats on the full season. So advantage towards the Yankees here. Pitching matchup. Potential negative regression for both of these starters. And the Yankees got the bullpen advantage here. So let's look at last 30 days. Last 30 days. So the splits, man, both of these starters really good right now. First instance as a home dog, though, for Lugo. trending to the over in the first 5. And to me, I feel like that's run support for the most part, based on what I'm seeing here. Man, that first 5 is crazy here for the Yankees from a trend perspective. I don't know if you can kind of get away from that right now. All right, so back to the stats. Advantage Yankees, but I mean the Royals are putting up numbers too still. Rodon, negative regression towards Rodon. So I could see the Royals putting up some runs here. The bullpens suck recently, last 30 days. I would say, yeah, why don't we just, well, wouldn't it be an overtime game? What are you guys' thoughts on this game? Who mentioned it? Free mind. What were you thinking on this game? It's kind of looking like an overtime game. Potential negative regression, especially from Rodon here. Both of the teams are doing well offensively. The bullpens not looking that great right now. I would think this is a full game over type game. I would lean towards the Yankees first 5, even though. What about, man? I think a full game over type of play here. I think Perez can cash his bases. Maybe ladder 2. Casey 11 games versus left-handed starters, 7 multi-hit games, and good numbers overall versus Rodon. Makes sense. I mean, they don't see left-handers often, but when they do, it seems like they're putting up runs. Let's actually look at that. So if let's go to Killer Sports real quick. So let's pull up Royals and against starting lefties. On the season, 7-4 straight up, 7-4 on the run line, 5.18 runs there. Let's look at them at home versus lefties. 3-2, 3-2, 4.8. So they actually, at home, they put up less runs against lefties. Well, that's probably because of that. That's it. I mean, they have been, but at the same time, I mean, if we're looking at the splits, the Yankees have been smashing first 5 against righties. So that's, I mean, as much as I want to, on it, it's kind of balances out almost, it seems like. So I think the play would be the over, in my opinion. I think the over in some way. Let's move on to a different game here. Is anyone else, another game that anyone wanted to see? Toronto and Milwaukee. Let's go to that one here. Yeah. No, that's yep, on point. I think the over is the way to go in this one. All right, cool. So I think there's some agreement there. Let's move to Brewers and Blue Jays. Brewers minus 116 at home. Righty versus righty there. Actually says, so our rating system has the Blue Jays with the advantage here, and mainly because of the starting pitcher. So we'll dive into that a little bit more. All right, so schedule. First game home for Milwaukee. Toronto's been on the road for a little bit, just faced Oakland. Last 5 starts here. Strong start against the Cubs. Struggled in the previous 3, giving up a lot of hits. Here. All right, so if we go to Berrios, consistent here, but also consistently giving up home runs. Also giving up a lot of hits. You can kind of see an over right away, almost. All right, so if we look at the splits on the last 30, Berrios 4-1, not doing well in the first 5, especially as a road dog. If we look at the over under, it actually looks towards the under in the first 5. So Berrios 4-1 to the under in the first 5 as a road dog, 2-0 to the under, home favorite for Rhea, 2-0 to the under, and then they give up runs, 2-0 to the over in those same games. Blue Jays versus righties, road dogs, last 30 days, 3-0 to the under. Nothing really significant that pops out here. Blue Jays not really getting nerfies here for the Blue Jays in the last 30 days, but he's been cashing on the Yerfie, so I wouldn't fuck with that. Last 30 days from the bats, slight advantage to the Brewers. Neither team really hitting the ball well at all, actually. The barrel rate, hard hit rate on the lower side of the league right now. Not a lot of power. Okay, so seems like they're getting a lot more runs than they should be. And from the pitching matchup, potential negative regression for Berrios. He's been struggling a bit. And both of these guys, not strikeout pitchers either. He's giving up a lot of walks per 9. This game sucks. The bullpen's definitely to the Brewers, though. I actually don't know where to go. This is like a skip to me. I wouldn't know what to play in this one. Too many counter narratives and everything's being countered basically. One side is the Brewers, another side is the Blue Jays. What were you looking at in this one? Oh, F5 under. First 5 under. First 5 under. Oh wait, yeah, I guess it aligns with both of these pictures here. As far as the splits goes in the last 30 days. Let's look at full season. Berrios is an under pitcher. He's an over pitcher. This is popping out to me for some reason. Right there. He might not be getting a lot of run support. Let's look at that real quick. So if we go here. All right, so starter. He's not getting a lot of run support, but he's also not giving up a lot of runs either in those starts. 10. This is the only, well, 2 games here where they gave up more than 3.5. What is the Brewers team total right now? Brewers team total 3.5. Man, that shit is juice. What's interesting to me here is at the 3.5. It would seem like a under 3.5 on the Brewers side. Let me see. But he gets run support. Yeah, this game's ugly. I don't know I can't help you on this one. I wouldn't know what to bet. There's just too many counters. But at least you get to see some of the splits and the stats here. Let's do one more. Orioles and Rays. Orioles and Rays. All right, so we got Pep and Burns. Rays are 1+120 home dogs. The rating system has the Rays actually with a +1 rating, so sees value on the Rays there. Schedule wise, they kind of they got swept here by Baltimore. I mean, they're about to get. I mean, they're trying to avoid the sweep from Baltimore. They've been on the road a lot here. All right, so let's go to last 5. Pep gave up 6 hits, home run, 3 earned runs, had 8 Ks though, went 6 innings. So it looks like, I mean, like he had that little pitch count here. So he's getting back. His arm is back basically. Gave up. I would think that we see some potential positive regression here. After giving up 6 hits and a home run. Burns, very consistent here. The last 5 starts. Let's look at the splits. This is the opposite. This is first time as a home dog for Pep. As a dog in general, 1 game, 1-0. They won on the first 5 and the run line. But Burns has been pitching really well. Totals. So this tells me Orioles bullpen's been giving it up because under in the first 5, over on the full game. So bullpen's giving it up. 5-2 to the over here. Let's look at the Braves bats on the full season. Let's go just straight to 30 days actually. 5-0 over on the full game. Look at so Orioles first 5. Well, look at these first 5 splits here. So Orioles first 5, 8-1-1 as road favorites. Home dogs against right-handed pitchers, first 5, 0-4, and on the full game 0-4. So these splits point towards the Orioles. Full game over, though, it still continues to be a look here. Full game over. What's the number? 7.5. Full game over. All right, so full game over. Bats offense definitely to the Orioles side. I mean, their barrel rate is decent. They're just not a lot of power. From a pitching matchup, oh, there goes the positive regression I was talking about here. From Pep, potential negative for Burns. That pops out. Okay. Man, I would say Orioles first 5 money line or the full game over. Orioles first 5 or the full game over. What were you looking at on this one? What was your lean? That would be my recommendation. I didn't bet this one, but I would look in both those directions. Maybe more so the full game over than the first 5 Orioles. Because if we see positive regression from Pep, that's gonna limit them a little bit. But it seems like the bullpen's gonna give it up. Orioles first 5. Okay, there's alignment there. Actually, let's just do one more. Rays first 5. He's on the opposite side. All right, Toasty's on the other side. Rays first 5. That must be positive regression on Peps. That's probably what you're banking on. Makes sense. Let's do one more. Baltimore not doing anything in the first 5 last couple of days. Let's look at last 14. Just This is interesting. They must be. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some of these splits are saying that they are. Brewers and Blue Jays. Oh shit, we did that one already. I'm pretty sure we did that one already. Brewers and Blue Jays. Yeah, we did that one already. Let's do Padres and A's. Man, this one's gross. So Padres 220 minus 220 at home. Cease Estes there. Padres huge advantage on our rating system here. In every aspect, basically bullpen, starting pitcher, team batting. Let's look at last 5 starts here. Cease, he's been giving it up recently. Estes, really strong start the last 2 outings here, but Seattle's been struggling offensively, and then it was the Rays there. All right, so let's go 30-day splits. Cease has been struggling in the first 5. But look at these splits here for the A's against right-handed pitchers. 4-16-3 overall, 7-16 overall. And then as road dogs, they're struggling. 2-10 straight up. Run line versus road on as road dogs, 6-9. Is mainly because they're not getting a lot of run support here. I mean, it seems like the Padres are seeing the ball well. They're just not getting a lot of good contact. From a pitching aspect, both of them kind of seems like positive regression for both. Well, yeah. In the last 30. Bullpen to the Padres. I would think. I mean, it would be Padres. Padres on the run line. Padres run line, or even just. I mean, it would be ugly, but A's team total under. What would that be? 2.5. They probably. Hold on. Let me. So A's versus starting right-handed pitchers, and let's say on the road, 3.22 runs per game. Yeah, I wouldn't take the. I mean, I think they're going to struggle to get some runs. I think only 7. All right, let's look at total. Less than 8. 2.6. Yeah, they struggle in these spots. Okay. They're not getting a lot of runs at all. Okay. Toasty. Oakland will have top. Okay. Yeah, even so, their bullpen, they're already struggling. Then won't have their top 2 arms. I think Padres. I was talking to Kyle last night. I think Padres bats are going to start to. They're starting to wake up a little bit. So it'll be Padres run line. I would lean towards. I think the A's are going to struggle putting up runs here. So Padres run line makes a lot of sense to me. All right, that's it. Went through actually four games in the MLB. Went through the WNBA. Before we go to the top plays here, just want to mention the website that I was using, themoneyballer.com. Just want to remind you guys that that's basically what I've been using throughout the whole the last couple months here. a lot of great insight. You get all your, comprehensive insights on one easy to use page. You have profitable situational spots at a glance. You stay ahead with, trends for the full season, last 30, last 14 days. A lot of detailed splits, advanced stats, situational notes. We also have the for MLB, the rating system. WNBA, we're actually working on redoing our WNBA page, and we're going to start to include our model projection, so projected scores and things like that for the WNBA. All those pieces are available to you right now. The basic access is free, and so through July. But man, there's just a lot of great information there. We really want it to be sort of like a one-stop shop for your betting action, betting insights and data. So yeah, just check out themoneyballer.com. Like I said, basic access is free through July. We've gotten a lot of people upgrade to the baller after using the basic access. But like if you, in my opinion, I think the baller access is for those who are really beginners, right, in trying to digest the information. If you're someone who's been handicapping for a long time and just really want the sources, right, the trends and the stats, basic is all you need, to be honest. So I'm not trying to upsell anything. I'm just giving you, the truth of what I think would work. But for me, I use baller access because the tools that we use, the rating system and the projections and all that stuff. That's stuff that we put together as a team. Myself, Zach, and Alex, we built those tools, and that's why we use them. But yeah, so moneyballer.com, check that out. It's free through the end of July. With that said, this is the top looks portion, and I would say for the MLB, that Padres run line is the top look, and then the WNBA for the Fever, and Sun game. At the current number, let me just check to see what the current number is. At the current number, I would still probably look towards the Fever. I think if it gets anything under 10, I would shy away from taking the Fever. But 10 or more, I would say Fever. Take the Fever there. All right. With that said, that's the end of the show, guys. Thanks to all who tuned in. If you enjoy the content, please share the show with others. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button before you go as well, so you don't miss any of the future shows here. And don't forget to check out the links in the description as well. The Money Baller hyperlink is there. The Killer Sports is there. Give Me the Dog, all that. The live odds page that I use is there as well. And as always, I always have to end the show with this. Remember, whether you fade us or follow us, it is on you to make that call. Good luck with all your action. Till next time. Peace.